I hope I can work with a leader like you someday.
3, 2, 1, action. Hello everyone, welcome to I1IP, where I interview 100 international professionals. The aim of this program is to share the story of international workers here in architecture, in built environment, and explore how they navigate identity, culture, and fulfillment. And during this process, I hope we can all connect and find our own place and voice in this field. Today is our second interview, and we have our interviewee, Camila.
Hello.
And we are in 18 ODA Avenue.
Yes.
The topic is the power of observation and curiosity. So Camila, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you, Shirley. So maybe I talk a little bit of my background, right? So I graduate in Brazil in architecture. I did live in Italy. Through my uni, I did an exchange there to do 1 year of university there. And then after graduating, I worked in Brazil. During the university also, I worked in different sectors of architecture. I did from interior design to house design. I did work in a site, in a construction site. And then after graduating, I worked on the design of like huge building shopping malls for 2 years, mostly residential or commercial buildings. But after living in Italy, I always had this feeling that I wanted to live abroad again, because I really gained a lot from living abroad. Like I learned a lot. And then the opportunity to come to Australia to do a master here in built environment came, and I was already very interested in built environment. So this is an important thing. In Brazil, you study architecture, landscape, and urban design. So the degree is the three together. It's not like here separated, right? And then through my uni process, the years, I started like going to these symposiums in sustainability because I had a lot of interest in sustainability. And then in one of these symposiums, there was this guy that works for a young girl in his office, and he gave this very like inspiring presentation. And I was young, so I was like, wow. So and it opened my mind, because it was like I already felt that, but when he put in words, it was very like open-minding for me.
Yeah.
So he spoke of the things that we know that young girl advocates for, right? The city being the people scale and how it makes a difference on people's life, and how you bring people to the streets because it's a safe place, it's a comfortable place, how also helps on their health, right? Because when you are active, you move your body, you walk from a place to another, there's all these results on the health system because people are not as sedentary. Anyways, that opened my mind, and I was like, wow, I want to study this. I want to work for a young girl. Never got that job. And then someone I knew came to do a master here in sustainable built environment. Someone that actually was in that symposium with me. She's a bit older than me, and then I spoke to her, and then she gave me some suggestions, which I'm very happy she gave, because then I went to do my master at UNSW in build sustainable built environment, right?
Yeah.
And I think studying that, I was not very clear that actually I didn't want to be an architect, but I started to understand that I really wanted to be able to design spaces more than buildings. And then during my master's, one of my colleagues was a landscape architect, one of the senior associates in this office, and he invited me to work with them, and that when I started working with landscape architecture.
Yes. So you were working and study at the same time.
I always worked and studied. In Brazil, it's very common.
Yep.
Because you study in the morning and you work in the afternoon, and you do assignments in the evening. But and then when I moved here, I did study and work at the same time, because I really wanted, when I realized I wanted to stay here, I realized I needed to start working here as well. And it was actually, I gained a lot from working here. It's a very different, during university, now I still work here, but at the time, like it's a very different environment from Brazil, and it's very
diverse.
Yeah, it's different, and it's a different way of working. And I think you always gain from learning how to work or to live in a different cultural environment from yours.
Because it's that different lifestyle as
Yes,
well.
yes, yeah.
Just now when you talk about young girl, I have to say I am a fan of him as well. I read his book Life Between Buildings, and then where he talk about different dimensions and different scale and what is friendly in an urban context. And I remember he was talking about 3 different type of activities. People go out for necessary activities. However, on the street, when the street is well designed, they have a lot of opportunities for people to pause, to linger around, and these are encouraging opportunity activities, and these are encouraging communications, which I find is very interesting as well. And I think everything here comes from our word observation, because young girl loves to observe people.
That's true. I agree. I think I'm someone who observes people quite a lot. I think it comes from a few things. One of them, that when I was younger, I was much more shy than I am nowadays. And I was much more introvert. And I think everybody knows that when a person is introvert, they tend to observe more than actually talk and expose themselves, right? And also it's like a protective way. I think also my mom's a psychologist, so I think I learned to understand people. And I think people get a bit scared when you think, hi, my mom's a psychologist, I like to observe people, because they feel like you are watching them. But I think it comes from a more empathetic way.
Yeah.
Like you watch them and then you understand them, and you can be more kind towards them in general. Like maybe you give some excuses for people, but also I think it's important to look at people more like not from your own perspective. We're always looking from our own perspective, but to try to understand the other side as much as you can.
Yeah.
Always, for sure, it's from our own experiences, right?
Yes.
And I think that helps me a lot on. I mean, it was hard, but at the same time, I think helps. Things have 2 sides, right? And helped me a lot to actually build where I want to be, or how I want to be, as like when I'm my work environment with the people I work with. And I think this is something I value and I find very important.
Yes.
To understand people through
build
this, yeah,
a connection.
yeah, to build this connection, because I actually, because of being shy, which I'm much less now, and people get very like shocked when I say I'm very shy, but I am still. I actually prefer this type of relationship, one-to-one, where I actually create a real, well, what I call real connection. Like I actually, when I'm talking to someone, I'm truly interested in what they are telling me, and I can remember crazy things that people are like, how do you remember that? But it's natural for me. It's not something that I'm not forcing it. It's my natural way from connecting, I think.
Now you've mentioned about observing people around you. Then how about when you are into a new environment? Like when you, for example, at work, when you have new client or new consultants, do you observe people as well?
I do. I think nowadays I learn to be not wait too long. I think, right? I do observe them. It's just natural, right? But I don't wait too long. But yes, I observe them, and I try to. This is not only with consultants, but even like if I just start a new job, right? It takes me a while to actually be able to express myself, be myself, because it takes me time by like mapping that environment again in a natural way, not like I'm mapping it, and then feel comfortable to be myself, because I think in the end of the day you can be many. There are many versions of yourself, right? And I think a little bit I try to fit in. Again, from that time I was very shy, I guess I tried to fit in. So of course, if I don't feel I fit, then it's not that I'm gonna be someone I'm not, right? But I think I try to don't force myself in new environments. I slowly show who I am, but after observing and trying to understand like what would be the best approach for me to like be in that place.
Yes. Seems like you like to get things under control,
Yes.
so that you are able to foresee other people's reaction to your behavior.
It's foresee as well as you're right. It's a bit of like I want things to be a little under control, which is not always helpful. I don't recommend to be like that. But there's, again, as I said before, there's a good and a bad on everything, right? And it does help me to navigate, I guess. I really, I think it's important for me to also, maybe it is a bit of like this empathetic thing that I try to understand people more than judge them straight away.
Yeah.
Sometimes I judge straight away. I'm not perfect, but when you judge straight away, it has more to do with the feeling you're feeling towards like very small things. But in general, like I go around trying to observe, putting myself on people's shoes, and then I kind of understand my environment in a hopefully not too controlling way, but I feel more confident when I do that. Does it make sense?
Yes, because I feel like you always want to pursue a very ideal, friendly environment between you and other people.
Yes,
You
true.
want to make sure this.
Yeah, because you know what I think? I spend most of my time, for example, at work, right? I spend most of my day there, right? Like, I think it's nice to have a nice environment, and also it has to do with my personality as well. Like, I like to be in a place that I would say I don't have the personality of I want to be above everyone. I have more the personality of like I wanted to be between those people, you know. And I think if you're spending most of your days, it's more important for me to be in an environment that I feel people get along, we like each other, than an environment I feel I'm the boss or I'll never be that person.
Yeah.
You know.
So it seems like observation for you is to give care and attention towards other people. However, if you always initiate kindness towards others, you might be the one that's vulnerable. So how do you set up boundaries?
That's not easy. I think I learned over the years how to set up boundaries slowly. Sometimes, you know, I do therapy since I'm 18, 17, maybe. So I had a lot of work to understand how to set boundaries. Not only that, but I had the help of so many people to help me with that. It started being a very difficult thing. It's still not easy, but nowadays there are different ways depending who I'm dealing with, right? But if I feel people are being disrespectful towards me, I just get very direct, because the empathy, like it shuts for me. Like, okay, I'm trying to understand you, but you're not really giving me anything back. So I'm gonna be direct and set my boundaries, saying I don't like this. This doesn't work. But if someone is working with me, like helping me in my work, I really try to understand the person. I try to put myself in their shoes, and I try to do this thing where like, okay, this person maybe needs more direction, so I should go and say, look, I need this, deliver by this, we need to do this is your responsibility. And I do think each person has a different approach that works better. Sometimes I fail, I fail a few times, but mostly it works well, I think. Like, and of course I'm a little bit very lucky because I have many nice people working with me, even like above and with me, like in my team. Like, I have great leaders, and the guys that usually help me doing my work, they're great. So it does help, right? And we manage by, I think, trusting each other to build this. But again, with them is great, but sometimes it's hard with someone new, and takes time to build that relationship as well, right? It wasn't perfect, our relationship from day one. There was a lot of like wanting to do things well and get along, and then you kind of align yourself through time.
Yeah. I think that's how you successfully manage a group of young graduates so well in office. You put yourself in their shoes and then try to understand them.
Yeah, I think that's something that I learned very young, that people have different skills and they need to feel ownership, right?
Yeah.
And slowly I was understanding how to understand what are the people's different skills, different interests, and try to like, okay, so you're very interested in this, maybe you can do this, and then you're very interested in this, and maybe you could do this. And it's not always perfect again, but you try to read again the environment and read the people around you, and then try to show them that you're trying to like give them an opportunity to develop themselves towards what they want, and they're gonna give back to you something. You know, it's always an exchange. I really see working as an exchange between people more than you do things for me.
Yes, like building a mutual contrast and a reciprocal relationship. Like I'm good to you and you're good to me.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's not only like being kind and nice. It's like, look, I'm giving you this opportunity, and then it's an exchange, and then you're gonna feel ownership. You care about your work, and then I think it creates a nice environment.
Yes. So like you are able to be professional and also be kind at the same time.
Yes,
Like
as
balance.
much as we can. Of course, depending a lot on other people, right? It's not only by myself. Like there's the other people on the other side.
Yes. So how does your international background shape your leadership?
Okay, so I think that's a thing that I didn't speak much about, right? So it is there's my personality where I find a bit easier to be myself in English than in Portuguese.
Yeah.
Of course, I think that has to do also with my growth through after my 20s, that I was most of the time living abroad, Brazil, right? But I do find a bit easier to be myself in English. I have less barriers on what people are thinking about me. I think it's towards that. But then there's the difficulties of I'm not using the right words. I'm not phrasing this correctly. And you know how when you speak your second or third language, you sound a bit dumb.
Yeah.
Most of people that are speaking the second language, they understand that. But people that don't speak any second language, they have no idea how hard it is and how maybe they. I find it often that people don't give you like the benefit of like, okay, this person's talking the second language. Maybe they don't mean this, they mean more like just be more generous, but people usually don't. And then so that's hard. And look, I did a lot of training for that. I had this great coach. She helped me with the language things, and then she helped me also to understand like what are the right words to say here, what are the words to say there in an Australian environment.
Because then how can we find that coach?
I can give you the contact. She's awesome. I love her so much. She's so good. She's perfect. And then it helped me a lot because I suffered. And I would cry after design reviews because I couldn't express myself well enough.
Yeah.
And I was trying to say something, and this principal just was very rude to me, and I cried so many times. I still do sometimes, but it's just that. And I tried when I was calm talking to her, like I was telling her what I was saying. She said, I totally understand what you're saying, but people maybe they don't have that filter that you're speaking your second language, and they're coming from a different place, you know.
And your principal know you enough because she works with you, but then other people maybe the first time seeing you, they don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Because you know when you're in a design review with principals that never saw you, right? Because I'm very lucky. The principal. Sorry, I touched it.
No, it's okay.
I'm very lucky that the principal I work with is perfect. She's super kind and she's very understandable. She also lived abroad when she was a kid, so I think she has a bit of an understanding. She's extremely empathetic. But people are different again, right? So yeah, it's different every time, and you're gonna get not only because it's the architecture environment. Anywhere there are people that will be a bit kinder, more understandable, people that will be in a terrible day, people that are more patient, and that varies. And then with the language thing, I really thought the language was a barrier for me. So that's to say that's also hard.
It is.
But then I think you study, you try to understand, and then maybe here I can talk to you because I think living in Italy helped me as well. In the middle of uni, I did an exchange in Italy, right? And in that place, I learned that being different is actually not a problem, which I think helps me as well here. So in this exchange, I was living with like people from all the countries you can imagine in this massive building. And then I think it was the moment that I started being less shy. Because I was understanding that there are so many ways of being. I come from the city that if you are different, it's a bit of a problem, I felt, or maybe it was me, but I actually think there was a lot of that prejudice thinking that, oh, this person is weird, like in small towns, right? That is a bit like that. And then when you go abroad and you live in a country with so many nationalities you never even thought about, you see that there are so many different ways of being. And because we are a big group from many different nationalities, they don't have that much of judgment. Oh, this person is weird because she eats fruits with pepper, like Mexicans eat fruits with pepper. And I had this very good Mexican
Thailand as
friend.
well.
Yeah, so it's not something I've never seen before, you know?
Yeah, like the ruler of being right or wrong, it just becomes more blur, like more
Yeah,
vague.
yeah. Okay, so there's not this thing of being right or wrong, and you kind of become more generous towards people. I think more like, okay, so
More open up.
you open
towards
up.
everything.
Yes, you open up. You're generous in the sense of like, this person is just different from you, but doesn't mean it's a bad thing, right? It's actually nice when someone is different from you because you learn so many things. When I lived in Italy, I probably could say some words in every language because I was so interested in learning all these languages. And I think, yeah, and then I think it adds to my, if that was your question, my career here and how I navigate towards being an international professional in Australia, right? Yeah. Does it make sense what I said?
Yes. And I think the education for people to embrace diversity is not just towards international people, but also mainly towards local people or towards everyone.
Yeah, I agree. Because if you think about, right, Australians are different between them as well. It's just that I think maybe because I'm from far, I can see in a more kind way, then it would be the same if I was in Brazil and I never have gone away. I'll be like probably maybe more judgmental towards the differences, right? Because I didn't understand that this is so small difference in comparison to all these other things that exist.
Yeah.
But so it just become a little bit more kind, I think. Yeah.
Circle back to our topic today. I feel diversity really needs that pause of observation.
I agree. Yeah.
Thanks, Camila, today for being our second interviewee. I think what I learned from her today is the power of observation and curiosity. And she always taking initiative to offer attention and kindness towards other people. In landscape design, observation helps her to form and shape meaningful spaces, while towards people's relationship, observation to her is not about passively following other people or like pleasing other people. Observation to her is offering genuine care and attention. And I think she calmly observes, seeks to explore, seeks to understand, and actively advocate for others, contributing to a friendly and then supportive microenvironment in our office.
Thank you, Shirley. Very kind to me. I loved it. Thank you for inviting me to be the second interview.
Thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you next episode.
Thank you.
Thank you. One thing I forgot. I have to introduce the area.
Okay.
Now we are in 18 All Day Avenue. You picked the place because you work on the design of the project.
Okay, so I picked the place because you said it has to be in a place that, you know, like relates to our topic today. And then I worked in the design with a team, of course, of the landscape in this area, not only the residential area but also the parking front. For 4 years was probably my first very long project. I think it's a nice environment, mostly like it's very, while outside is super hot, here it's actually very fresh.
The moment we open the gates and look inside, all the cool air just comes towards us.
Yes, it was very fresh and cool, and I think there's a lot of landscape here, a lot. I think it's a beautiful place. I really like it. The water features help also for the freshness of the place.
To cool the air.
Yes. Yeah, I actually really enjoyed working, and I learned a lot from this project. Yeah, it was the very first project that I had to draw all the details, and I was very much involved from the DA until the construction phase. So that's why I chose this place. And I wanted to show you as well.
Yeah, it's a very nice place. I didn't know we have this kind of good neighborhood. I'm gonna cut this bit off.
We do like the end of like how do you say that? The parts that are funny, but I cannot go to the interview, you know.
I'm gonna put it behind.
Yeah, behind the scenes.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow, so smooth. I didn't expect this.
That's good. Thank you, Shirley.
You.
Hope everything was fine. If it wasn't, we can record again. I don't mind. It's shaking.
Oh. Oh.
Don't
Stay,
fall. Don't
stay.
fall.
Should be okay.
Yeah.